Hi there, Allison here. Welcome to day 10 of Stitching the Summer Olympics. For me, it's Old School on the Prairie by Twin Peak Primitives, designed by Norden Canber. Here I am, getting it out, taking care of business, and as I organize my stitching, I'll share with you some of the simple items in my bag to get going. Today, I wanted to focus on the Louvre and share with you some of the information about it because it is such an important building there along the Seine. It had its start as a fortress, and then it was a palace for the kings, the French kings. And it is filled now with the finest art, and it's an architectural gem filled with historical secrets. There are stories and mysteries to keep one engaged for a lifetime of visits. You can hardly get in anything in just one day, and you don't want to spend your whole time there. But let's step back in a time long before Mona Lisa will call the Louvre her home, to the 12th century, where our story begins with it as a fortress. First, do you know why they call it the Louvre or La Louvre? Don't kick yourself if you don't know, because there are many stories to explain its name. And no one, not even the art historians, can agree on which story is true. The first hypothesis claims that the Latin root lupus, meaning wolf, attests to the early location's rich forests filled with wolves. I don't think that's it, according to this author. The second possibility has the name connected to its Saxon origins of the Germanic tribes that settled in northern Gaul. In this language, lower or lower means watchtower, and the Louvre certainly was set in a strategic location overlooking the Seine River. And I think this might be a part of the answer, according to this writer. The third theory is based in French and dates from the origins of the current Louvre when Philippe Augustus decided to build a fortress around the capital in 1190. The keep, or main structure, was massive and was called Oeuvre, or the work, by the builders and local residents alike. I think that there's a bit of truth in the stories. The French historian Henri Sauval, writing in 1660, stated that the name comes from an old Latin Saxon glossary. Here the word laur is translated to castle. Voila. From there, it is not difficult to get the French word Louvre. So we have Philippe Augustus, who consolidated power in Paris in the 12th century. To keep that power, he needed a strategic fortress. That fortress was expanded over the centuries to meet the needs of the various French monarchs. In the 14th century, Le Louvre became an official royal residence for Charles V. The medieval castle would be almost completely destroyed in the 16th century. Yet you can still glimpse the remnants of the original keep and moat of the 12th century fortress 23 feet below the glass pyramid. Don't miss it when you visit. Francois I, the same king that built the Chateau de Chambord in the Loire Valley, wanted a larger and more elaborate home in Paris. He razed the medieval fortress of the Louvre and created a larger and more comfortable palace in the Renaissance style. You can study the architecture and see all of the different periods represented. Louis XIV was the last king to use the Louvre as a royal palace. He wanted to build a bigger residence to hold his entire court, complete with large gardens, fountains, and waterways. He found Paris too confining in space, so Louis moved his court to Versailles in 1682. The Louvre sat empty with the exception of a few artists in residence. In 1793, during the French Revolution, the Musée Central des Arts opened in the public of the Grand Gallery. Napoleon Bonaparte, and later his nephew Napoleon III, would enlarge the palace again in the 19th century. Mostly Napoleon needed more space for all the works of art that he plundered as spoils of war in Italy, Egypt, and beyond. When Louis XIV moved to the court of Versailles, the artists that squatted in the dilapidated chateau exchanged ideas, copied paintings, and created their own works of art. You could argue that the shift from palace to museum began here, even before the French Revolution. Today, you can still see students of art painting in the front of the great masters. Henry IV invited artists to the Louvre in 1608 to copy artwork of the royal collections. You can actually earn your degree in art history at the Louvre. The river-facing wing of the museum is the École du Louvre, an institution of higher education dedicated to the study of archaeology, anthropology, art history, and epigraphy. It was founded in 1882 and is an important institution for training future curators and excavators. Want to just paint in the Louvre? Well, you'll have to get in on a very long selective wait list. Just 150 or so experienced artists are chosen to spend 3 months painting at the museum. Unlike during the time of Henry IV, lodging is not included. During World War II, the Louvre was evacuated. One man, Jacques Jojard, had a hunch that the French would be occupied by the Germans. To avoid the pillaging of the museum by the Nazis, he arranged for 4,000 of its most significant artworks, including the Mona Lisa, to be moved to Château du Brand in the Loire Valley. The last piece to move was Winged Victory, and she made her way westward on September 3rd, 1939. Throughout the war, art was moved to evade theft. You can find non-Western art at the Louvre as well. There are significant collections of Islamic, Asian, African, and Oceanic art. The Pavilion des Sessions is a 1,200 square meter exhibition area, and it opened in 2000. It is streamlined space with simple volumes and minimal partitioning. You will find the work bathed in light filtered through silver-plated bronze mesh screens. The works of art are displayed with maximum impact in a spacious layout that allows visitors to admire the objects from every angle. You have the opportunity to reflect, to learn, to debate humankind's desire to create art. The Louvre is home to more than 500 million pieces of art. It would take you 200 days to see each of the 35,000 works of art on display if you spent just 30 seconds on each piece 24 hours a day. Still, if you want to take the work of Paul Cézanne, you won't find his paintings here. You have to go to the museum, Musée d'Orsay, across the river at the Impressionist Art Museum, as I spoke of earlier this week. For many, the Louvre is a major bucket list item during a trip to Paris. You cannot possibly even begin to scratch the surface of its collection, even if you spend your entire vacation at the museum. So, when you plan a trip, dive in, take in what you can, and just know that once is not enough. You can go back again and again and again. Here's my top 7 paintings. The Raft of Medusa. It's quite graphic with its survivors and casualties. It's huge. It's 16 by 23 feet. Mona Lisa, the most famous painting in the world, Da Vinci's. It's assumed to be the wife of Franco di Giocondo. The wedding at Cana is awesome. It's 22 feet by 32.5 feet by Veronese. There are so many things going on. It's like an awesome backyard barbecue. Different faces, different activity, drinking, eating, listening, and Christ. The Winged Victory. It is the most emblematic piece of ancient Greek art, 8 feet tall. The Venus de Milo. It was found in 1820 and offered to King Louis, who gave it to the Louvre. This is the crowning of Napoleon. The artist put himself in the back. Liberty of the People, 1830, by Eugene Delacroix. So now, you go to the Louvre and see how much you can get in not even a day. They maybe give you an hour and 45 minutes. Go, see what you can do. Is in the central courtyard at the Pyramid du Louvre, designed by American architect I.M. Pei and opened in 1989. This iconic 22-meter high pyramid is constructed of 675 panes of glass, flooding the interior space with natural light. Inside, you have the ticket area, which is just glorious marble downstairs, escalators to go down, and then a whole mall and a food park. It's really neat. People either love Pei's addition or despise it. There doesn't seem to be much middle ground. Since its addition, the pyramid has caused much controversy. Many see it as a modernist eyesore, jutting starkly against the Baroque surroundings. The original foundations of the Louvre are found in the medieval Louvre section in the Sully Wing. This underground area reveals the medieval fortress that was created for King Philippe Auguste in 1190. You can see the ancient foundations, the remnants of a medieval moat, and the dungeons, as well as the Salle Saint Louis built between 1230 and 1240. Several rooms in the medieval Louvre section display documents, models, and paintings related to the history of the Louvre. Surprisingly, many visitors don't even know that this gem is hidden beneath the pyramid. Okay, enough gallery talk. Now it's time to do some Stitch the Summer Olympics gallery walking. Let's check out and see what Laura-Lynn, Tracee, and Lois have for us.
Hello everyone, I'm Laura-Lynn from the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and this is me checking in with the Stitch Olympics for Miss Al Isine Stitchin's channel. This is my opening ceremony, which is a project that you started in 2014 or 2024. I don't know where 2014 came from. And it's my Wizard of Oz. Some of these are going to have to be repeated for as I'm working on multiple things on them, and they're going to cover a few categories. Time's kind of not been my friend the past little week. So we have this one here for day 1, and then for the Parade of Nations, which is do something patriotic for any country, which is my moose. I have a moose and a mug there. It also classifies also for my border as well. So I'll be coming back to that one. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to remove my paperwork so I don't get lost. And then the one after that was something very summery. So I added that nice little cone, and of course I have to finish still the stick on the cone, but I think it looks pretty cool. It was just a pattern that I saw online. Actually, I had a couple of different ones, but I like that. So there's my my summer. Hold on. And then we have the something of the rings for. Is that it? I think that was, yes, the Olympic ring. So I have that actually on the other side of my work of art here. I just have to add 2 more colors, and then I've got actually the rings for the Olympics all stitched out. And next is for swimming. That is right here. It's a light bulb with a lighthouse, which is also going to classify as my village, as well as the water. So I have stitched the water, and I'm working on the lighthouse there. What else is out of that? Marathon. Oh, one of my oldest whips. Well, that is that one there. I ended up doing 2. This is actually the second one. The first one I turned into a mug rug and gave it away. And the second one I said I was wanting to finish myself. And it's been like 3 years since I have started that. So finished that. That's the other one for whip. And then for volleyball, which was stitched with more than one person. So I'm going to classify that right there for the Oz, because I know we were all working on it. And then for the rowing, because I have the border, I'm stitching the border around the moose, I will continue that to go up all the way around. I think it'd be really kind of cute and close it in there. And then for the last but not least, on this glass bottle here, the light bulb here, is a lighthouse. So I'm classifying that as my house, and that is me all caught up. Yay! Thank you, Miss Allison, for including me. Okay, so that's what I got going on here. We got things in progress. See you next time.
Hi, Tracee here, just to share with you my Stitch the Summer Olympics projects, days 6 through 10. Day 6 was cycling and stitch something that contains something round. I chose my long dog sampler, the new normal. I stitched 530 stitches, and this is how it is now, stitched on 32 count silver grey even weave using sulky threads. Day 7 was to stitch on one of your oldest whips. I originally started this in 2004. I restarted it in 2008 because I'd got the fabric size wrong. It's maiden voyage, and all our yesterday's kit, and the artist is Faye Whitaker, and I've got a lot of these and I really like them. This is where it was before I started stitching. I put in 425 stitches, and I worked on finally the lady having a head. It's on white even weave, which I switched out, but using all of the kit floss. Day 8 and 9 was this tiny modernist stitched together chart kindly sent to me by my lovely friend Alison, and being stitched with me, Alison and Lois, and I was enjoying it so much that this is day 8 and 9. I'm stitching it on a 27 count hand dyed by me fabric, which is actually a pale lilac, but it's not showing well in the video. I stitched 1,137 stitches over the 2 days, and I chose to stitch it once again using sulky threads, and these are from my stash. Day 10, which I haven't stitched on yet, is Raven Queen by Mirabilia. I love her, but it's slow going. These are all the beads that will eventually be in the project. And this is where I'm going to start today. I think I'll be working on this bit along here. So have a happy day stitching. Bye for now.
Hi, Lois here. Day 6, stitch something round. I'm doing Happy Fall Ya All by Flamingo Toes. There's my something round. This is all done on 14 count Aida. The next, day 7, is stitch your oldest whip. This is my full coverage eagle head from the Cross Stitch Studio. I started working on this December 12th, 2022. Took it off the frame and ironed it so you could see my progress. I'm working on the feathers here over his beak. And that's my oldest whip. Day 8 is something with more than one person. As Allison said, Tracee and Allison and I are all doing stitch together. The only change up I made was my white. I have changed. I'm doing the spools in Ada DMC number 782, and the white flowers will be done in this purple 327. Day 9 was something in a row or border, so I did a simple blue border with a little starfish, and I'll continue the blue border across the top and connect. It'll be ready after I get the back stitching done. It'll be ready for the zipper pouch. And day 10, something with a house. I'm doing the stitch along with Laura-Lynn from the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, the Emerald City. And I'm working on the house in the bottom corner, and I'm just getting started. This is on oatmeal, 14 count. See you soon.
So Mr. J and I were invited down to spend a special birthday weekend with our awesome longtime friends, and I, of course, took my stitching with me. I continued on day 10 on my old school on the prairie, which is being stitched on Charles Craft's 16 Ada Rustic Light Oatmeal. And I'm doing it's from Twin Peak Primitives. Yes, sirree, you can see on the table there. I'm still working on it. It's overcast and cloudy. Here's my day 11, and that is on 32 count raw linen by Zweigart. I'm working on Friendship Tree by Shakespeare's Peddler. I finished the kitty and the side apron of the lady on the right. And then day 12, I'm working on 20 count raw linen Ada, which I dyed myself. It is the 2020 Pandemic Sampler by Christy Stephenson. I was absolutely thrilled to hear about this and be a part of it. And I have a long way to go, but it is such a beauty. Where is my needle? Got a needle, and I got that part done, and the top of the vase, the black vase pedestal. Yes, sirree. Look at that. There's Tammy. Happy birthday, Tammy. We had a wonderful birthday dinner for her. Thank you so much. Bye, Tammy. Here we go. Off to home so I can get this posted. Thank you so much for your patience. The end for today. And if you like, go ahead and like and subscribe. Cheers.